everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about an Atlantic tropical update again. That's what we're going to be talking about. By the way, just a quick thing, I'm going to be focusing on both of these systems equally because I realize it's way too uncertain to only focus on one more than the other. Anyway, let's get started. So we got disturbance 2 with 20% chance of formation, and environmental conditions are going to support some slow development of the system late this week. And over the weekend, it moves westward at 10 to 15 miles an hour. This one, disturbance 1, also 20%. It's a few hundred miles east of the Windward Island, and environmental conditions could become more conducive for slow development of the system in several days after it crosses the Windward Island and moves across the eastern and central Caribbean Sea late this week into early next week. We have nothing else now. Before I go to the models, let's go to the Climate Prediction Center Global Hazards Outlook. And just an update, guys. Beginning on September 13th, 2022, the Climate Prediction Center will terminate the Week 1 portion of Global Tropics and Benefits Hazards Outlook. The Week 2 portion of the Outlook will remain operational and will transition entirely to a probabilistic format. Guys, I honestly don't know what that means. I just think they're going to scrap the moderate and high chances and just put probabilities, but in transition entirely to a probabilistic format. Well, I guess we'll see what that means on September 13th. Anyway, with a name change to the Global Tropic Hazards Outlook. It's also and Benefits Outlook, so it's just going to be Global Tropical Hazards Outlook now. And an experimental Week 3 probabilistic temperature and precipitation forecast will be issued beginning on this date as well. Now, personally, I do not think they should do this. I like the probabilistic part, but I do not think it's even wise to put Week 3 in here. I think Week 1 is the most trustworthy part. Though I guess since they're climatology, they're going to probably have to go a little farther out. So anyway, we have a moderate chance of formation in the main development region of the Atlantic for Week 1, high chance in Week 2. And we're not going to be talking about the rest of those until another video. X out of there. So let's go to let's go to the ocean analysis, and let's go to the North Atlantic first. Before we start showing the models, I want to show you guys what kind of conditions these systems are going to be getting into. So, we see the low. Sorry for any stuttering that I've already done right now or in the future of this video. I'm trying my best not to stutter. I don't have a stuttering problem, just when I'm talking fast. Anyway, moving on from that. We have low pressure on the coast, around the coast of Africa. When it comes off the coast, also, by the way, yesterday's video I talked about it's going into shear. Some new model runs show there won't be as much shear. Anyway, moving on. It's going to go into the MDR, and I either think it's going to do this, which would obviously still make it pretty strong until it gets a little more north. But I feel like this is the least likely track. This is moderately likely. The most likely track, I think the most likely track will be this, or maybe a branch of like this. While the low here, some model runs have been more with the Bahamas one, or a little more like that. Some even one model run showed it doing this, and then going down. One model run, most model runs are showing it going into Cuba, then into the Gulf, and a lot showing into Haiti. Then the Bahamas, some show it going through these areas and into the Gulf, either turning up or going this way. So these are all the model tracks. And let's go back here for a second. I want to show you guys the main model. By the way, this is going to be a quick tropical update. I'm trying to get to sleep early. And I'm sorry that I could not post this earlier like I wanted to. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. And I promise I will post earlier tomorrow. I just also had a lot of homework today. Anyway, moving on. Also, my friend came over. But moving on from the stuff you guys don't care about. We have the area of interest. And the reason I'm focusing on both equally is that in a minute you're going to see that this system has been shown much weaker. This one doesn't, but it still affects land. This system doesn't affect land, but it does go us much stronger currently. So we've got to focus on them equally. So we got the strong getting into the 960s here. Doesn't affect land. 960s, 970s. Then we have a potential system here that I won't worry about because it's not really in the models. And also, it's very hard to tell which one of these is actually the area of interest, I'll be honest with you guys. Then we have the Caribbean one, which actually becomes a 990 around a tropical storm. It goes to Mexico. And then we have another one. Hits the Florida Panhandle and Big Bend, and then goes and turns, goes up north and then turns northwest. 850 MB. We're going to... And by the way, this is the only model I'm going to show 850 MB 10M parameters for, and rain parameters, because it's the only model showing it strong enough to where I believe that's necessary. So, of course, 850 MB slash wind gusts is what we use it for. And, of course, this is always in knots. So we're going to go with wind gust stuff first, 850 MB, aka, which is the same thing because you're close enough. Anyway, we see wind gust of hurricane to major hurricane force, and this one here only is tropical storm force. This system, a little bit of hurricane force, but very lopsided. Very well could be only subtropical if that happens, but that's way too far out. That's not related to any area currently. Sustained winds, hurricane force, category 2 around there, possibly category 3, tropical storms, low tropical storm, sustained winds, tropical storm, high end sustained winds there, moderate and tropical storm, sustained winds there. And let's quickly go to the western Atlantic. Let's go back to hour 0, and we are going to go down to 24-hour rainfall. So we do see causing up to maybe 20 inches of rain near Mexico, 15 in Cuba. Then we have around 15 inches in Florida, mainly the central Florida Panhandle. Then it spreads out. And I'm not showing the other systems because rain won't be a threat because that's not affecting land. Let's go to significant wave height, North Atlantic. Like I said, this is going to be quick since it's nighttime. I want to just give you a quick, short update. So, yeah. Up to about, I would say, doesn't really affect anyone because not to sea, but I would say around 35 to 40 foot waves isolated there. Here we have around almost 20 feet there. Oops. And then we have around 15 to isolated 25 feet there. And that was the sea surface temperatures. Anyway, not that. Let's go to the model animator. Okay, let's go to the ensembles. And first, I'm going to show you the SpaghettiOs, which let's load them up. So we go, the SpaghettiOs, many show like a moderate tropical storm going into the Gulf. Some one show it going out to sea. Some show around major hurricanes hitting Texas. Then pretty consistent on a very strong system going out to sea with the GFS there. For the 850 MB slash wind gusts. That's what I use. That's why I say slash because I use 850 MB for wind gusts. I refer, whenever I say wind gusts, I refer to 850 MB parameter and vice versa. 50 MB to wind gusts because they are close enough. So yeah. Anyway, we do see this system, the out to sea system, coming very strong around probably wind gust of 110 knots, it says, and the tropical storm in the Gulf. By the way, that's very strong, and it affects Bermuda, and then it decides to take a turn toward the northeast, though I would not, if the solution, subtropical jet stream would probably take it away, so that's good. Let's go to the EPS, 850, I have to go to 850 MB slash wind gusts. I have to do 12Z because 18Z doesn't go as far enough. So we see they don't really show a Gulf system. And we do see like two true tropical systems in the Atlantic. One goes near the Leeward Islands. I don't know why this is glitching so much. Oops. And then they go out to sea, as you see there. I don't know why that's glitching so much. Let's get out of there before something breaks. That was a joke. But anyway, let's look at the ensembles. 12Z. Yeah, pretty much not very certain at all, but still showing pretty strong. As we saw, if we go back to GEFS, let's just take a little shortcut here. And we go to 850. We go to 850 MB, so gust. And we go back to EPS, and we go 12Z. Like, it's pretty strong. Not as strong as the GFS, but usually they're not as strong. Let's go as the GFS or GFS when showing cyclones. Sorry if I was speaking a little low there, but I think you guys heard me. Hopefully you did. ECMWF, this goes out to hour 240. This is the main model, which I will get to in a second. Now, it doesn't really show anything in its term. GFS, that big out to sea system, and those Gulf systems. KMA, not really anything. UCMET, not really anything. Let's go to tropical tidbits. North Atlantic, and like I said, I'm not using any other parameters other than this parameter, the precipitation rate, as I don't think they're strong enough to show it. Yeah, but we do see these systems forming, coming off the coast of Africa. And yeah, it doesn't really become anything just yet. Canadian, not really anything at all. And I guess as a bonus, NavGam shows the system coming off and the Caribbean system. Icon, MDR systems. Anyway, one we're saying, let's show you guys this. And so is going up. It probably could go down again. And I'll show you the forecast in another video because that's more hurricane season. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this premiere, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.